It's still discreet. And then we run into a camera pause.
We'll play with it. All right, everybody, let's take your seats. Let's take your seats. Let's get ready. I have more chairs in the back. If you guys want to scoot some of your chairs forward, great. Can you guys hear me in the way back? Can you hear okay? Okay, good. Michelle, can you hear this? Does this sound good? I can't give you this one. You got a baby voice. I'm going to give you this mic. Yeah. Michelle's got an inside voice. So thank you guys for coming out. We're going to set everything up. So anytime you guys need anything to drink, please come up here and grab either water, soda water, whatever's up here. If we need to get more stuff, just come grab either myself or Katie, and we'll get some more stuff ordered. There's food, there's refreshments, bathrooms, restrooms. Right here, there's a private one right here to the left. There's also 2 across the hall. If everybody saw them, just go directly across the hall. You'll see the restrooms over there. And it is going to be a fun morning. Does everybody have stuff to write on? Hopefully you brought something, because guess what? I don't have anything for you. Okay? So there's that. I'm going to introduce, well, first of all, my name is Cristo Bruce. I am here with Guild Mortgage, and I am going to be up here narrating and emceeing with Michelle Wilson of EXP. And she's going to give us a quick intro of everybody that we're going to have on the panel. And hopefully you guys are going to be super excited because there's so many nuggets. Hopefully you just take a few and implement them today. Okay?
I don't need anything else.
Get it, girl.
All right, so here's the riddle test. Can you guys hear me in the back? I have no voice. All the rest of the speakers, I think, are good. So we're good? We're good? Okay, so good morning. First of all, thank you, everyone, for coming. We should be kicking off our live stream, everything else. We'll showcase a few things in a moment. So thanks, guys, for coming. We're excited. I'll thank you in advance to all of our great speakers that I will introduce shortly here. But just to get us started as an introduction, my part's a little bit easy. So we started our group and we started running these masterminds because our industry, you know, there's a major gap, right? There's a major gap that I've seen for years, and especially when we go through changing times like now, with being able to get agents prepared and having the training that gets them prepared versus figuring it out as we go, versus figuring it out on the fly. And so what we want to do is bring as many resources, put together events where we can bring training, skills, resources to agents so that they can be prepared in any market. They can adapt. They can have the things that they need, the skills, the tools to create the business they need at any time. So that's what we want to do. We want to bring you guys as much tactical things you can apply to your business. We will be buyer focused today in what we're going to talk about. But we're going to bring a lot of value. We want to bring some very, again, applicable tactical things, right? Scripts, processes, tools that everyone should be able to leave here today and apply into their business immediately to create more business. Okay, so that is our objective in all the different trainings we've done. I see a lot of familiar faces, so I know some of you guys have been at events with us, as well as a lot of new faces. So again, welcome. I'm going to do a quick introduction to everybody. If all of our speakers maybe can just come up front real quick. I want to just introduce who is in the room before we kick off. So I don't know if order matters, but we'll jump in. So quick introductions. First, I have Randi Szakaly, guys, here on the left in the beautiful red. So if you have not heard Randi speak before, just be ready. She is probably one of the most skilled agents I know in our industry. Top 1% agent in Snohomish County. She is a dominant listing agent in our marketplace. And she's going to give you guys some powerful takeaways to not only be able to create business on demand, how to handle really every situation to win. You guys are going to get a ton of nuggets coming from her, which is really exciting. So next up, we have McDonald. Love this girl. So leader of Rally Point Properties, which I know you guys are all in here, one of the top teams in Washington State. Little brag on Amber. Amber personally alone sells over 80 homes a year. This girl is phenomenal. She has a really incredible niche and client base, and she's going to be sharing some gold with you guys today. So that's exciting. Who do I got up next? I don't know if the big man needs an introduction. Come a little closer, Mr. Andre Jones. So,
wow.
Where do I start? Other than that, I love this man. Number one. Okay, we have to stand here for them to see us. Okay. So Andre Jones, everybody, if you don't know him already, let's see. Number one agent at Skyline Properties. Sold 130 homes last year by himself. this man is pretty powerful and incredible, if that doesn't speak for itself. His work ethic is out of this world. So he's going to share some amazing stuff with us as well. Oh, and 3 years in the business?
Yeah.
3 years. 3 years selling real estate.
Is that good? Is that good?
Maybe. So a lot we're going to share from Andre Jones as well. And last but not least, I know you guys, most of you guys know who MK is, M. Christo Bruce with Guild Mortgage, him and his team. So if you guys do not know MK and his team already, the knowledge and the strategies that we're constantly bringing and that his team brings to the industry is pretty cool. You guys making fun of me from back. MK, I just want to do this because they're not going to say it themselves, right? MK and his team are next level. We're really proud to partner with you on everything. Again, just bringing constant value and resources to the industry, which is really, really cool. And I'll tell you guys a little secret. If you want to dominate in your business, you get really good partners. So we'll leave with that. Now, if you guys can't tell from the speakers that we're going to have today, very different backgrounds, right? Very, very different backgrounds. They all have very different, actually unique strengths in how they build and drive their business. And they're all running very successful businesses right now in today's market. So there's going to be a ton of stuff to share with you guys. Do you guys think you might take some nuggets and some good takeaways from everyone up here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So with that, we're excited. We are going to kick off. Is there anything to add before I can transition in? Okay, perfect. So we got our slide deck ready. We are going to kick off with Amber McDonald. And just to, sorry, you're on the right side of me. Just to introduce Amber a little bit more. She's got a really, really incredible background that she will share her journey with you guys. But she runs a really, really strong client referral base and really an elevated service to her business, which brings her over 80 transactions a year, right, from her database, which is really incredible. She runs a database that all of us wish we had, right? I'll just put it at that. So I'll let Amber take it away and lead into what we're going to share with you guys this morning to kick off. So
thank you. Do I have to use the mic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to start with just telling you guys a little bit about my story and how I created and why I created the business model that I have now. So backstory, I got my license in 2017. And when I first moved here, which was in 2016, I had no friends, I had no family, and my husband was stationed in Korea for a year. So I got my license and I had a vision that I knew I needed to execute. On top of not having any friends or family, I also had no money and I was in a ton of debt. And so I could have easily used that as an excuse, right? Of poor me, I don't have any sphere to lean on, I don't have any money to buy leads, but instead I knew I needed to double down on my activities. And so what my business is now is not where I started. And so I don't want anybody to think that, oh, you can create a business, just on doing events. I was door knocking every single day. I was calling expireds. I was calling FSBOs. I was sitting open houses. I was script practicing around the clock. My husband would call me at 2 a.m. and I'd be like, hey, can I script practice with you? Because I'm tired of script practicing on my dog, right? So I put in the work and I was doing whatever I could do just to get one piece of business, right? And I also got creative and I wanted to focus on social media as well. Now, back then, social media really wasn't what it is today within our business. And so I did have some naysayers on that, but I was intentional with my social media presence. And I also embedded myself into a couple local communities. And then I got my first deal within 2.5 months of being licensed. And then I got my second deal. And I got my third deal. And every single one of those deals came from social media. Now, I didn't stop those other activities. I knew I needed to basically put my foot on the gas and just keep going. But I also wanted to be intentional now even more so with what was working, right? And at that point, I wasn't really intentional with events per se. I honestly was tired of feeling like a loser on Saturday night and not having friends. So I had these 3 clients that I really liked. I had a lot in common with them. And so I invited them over to my house for a game night. Now, remember, I had no money, right? So I was broke. So I made it potluck style and I spent about $100 and they came over. We had a great time. Fast forward, I made really long lasting relationships with these clients. And 2 out of the 3 of those clients that were at my house ended up giving me a minimum of 5 deals each over the next span of a couple years. It wasn't right then, it was long term, right? And minimum, I say, because one of them has given me probably at least 20 clients over the span of the last 5 or 6 years. So that's just where we started. And I want to tell you guys that because you can create a business off of events, off of client care, and social media, but it doesn't have to be on a bigger scale, right? You can have a barbecue at your house. You just have to be genuine and intentional with it. I'm not good with technology. Okay. Thanks. Oh, no, that's, oh, yeah.
I'm not good with technology either.
Oh, good. We're in this together. It's fine. It's mainly just you because I don't know what I'm. So that's just a little bit about me. I also poured myself into a lot of education. I didn't know anything about houses when I got my license. So again, doubling down on those activities and making sure that the client experience that I was giving, I was elevating that. And so this next slide. So this is our biggest event now, where we're at today. So this was last year. Our biggest event of the year, can everybody see that? Is our Friendsgiving event. So we do this every single year. We are in the business of building relationships, you guys. So every single person you come into contact with can be an opportunity. So be intentional with that and just build relationships. Be genuine. People want to get to know you. And for us, our Friendsgiving is our bread and butter. I literally just had somebody last week call me and say, hey, I just want to buy a house from you because I want to come to Friendsgiving, right? So people start to talk about it. And the 3 tips that I can give you when you're building events is, number 1, don't make it about you. That's the biggest mistake that I made and that I've seen a lot of other agents make, is make it about your clients. And if you don't have clients yet, figure out what type of clients you're going after and you're targeting, and then make it about them, right? And so why that is because your clients want to feel appreciated. They want to feel valued. They don't want to make it about you. They want to make it about themselves, right? So figure out what they like. And tip number 2 is don't be scared to think outside of the box. Depending on what type of clientele you guys have, you may look at my events and be like, man, my clients would never want to be in a beer pong championship, right? They don't want bouncy houses, right? Everybody's clientele is different. And so for us, this is what works for us. And when I got really intentional with our event, I'll never forget, it was like 2 a.m. and me and my husband had all these papers laid out, and we were just poking holes in every part of how this event could be successful or how it could be a flop. And we want people to come to our events. You don't want to throw an event and have 6 people show up, right? And so think about who you're targeting, think about who you're working with, poke holes in that, and mastermind and bounce it off of somebody else. And then the 3rd tip I would give you is have giveaways. And be intentional with those giveaways, because the giveaways that we do at our events, they are 100% about our client, but they are also strategically placed so that our business model and our brand and what we do is being basically marketed for us. This event, we started with 3 reviews on Google, and this year we're trying to get higher on Google. By the end of this event, we had 35 Google reviews, and we've already gotten 3 leads from Google just from this one event. And also people like free shit. Sorry, can I say that? Sorry, but people do. So people like free stuff, give it to them. It doesn't have to be big. When I started our giveaways, it started with like a little $25 gift card, right? So don't be scared if you don't have the finances to do it. Just do something and make it about your clients. Next. So are there any numbers people in the room? Who loves numbers? I know Michelle does. Yeah. So whether you love numbers or you don't love numbers, for those of you that love numbers, I'm a numbers freak. This is for you. But those of you that don't love numbers, whether you love it or hate it, you have to be numbers based if you're running a business. So you want to figure out, what are you doing? How much are you making and how much are you spending, right? And does it make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, then you need to alter something. And so this is just a quick look at what we do. So care about the people and the money will follow. Care about the money and you'll never stop chasing it. So write that down. Care about the people and the money will follow. care about the money, and you'll never stop chasing it. That is the beating heart of my business. Everything on the side that you're seeing, that's our strategy of our business. We care about the people first, and every single client that we help, we give a heightened level of customer service, and we are their go-to for everything, including when they go to sell that home again. And so make sure that you're always giving. When you have that lead, you always want to give that customer service, because that lead can turn into 10 leads, right? Don't let those transactions just go bye-bye. And follow up with those people as well. I was just talking to Jody about that. So on the left side, 54% of our closings come from client appreciation and client touches. Now, I follow up with every single one of my past clients, minimum of 4 times a year, and I have a proven process that helps me to be able to actually do that. We have close to 500 clients right now. So if you don't have a process that goes over how to follow up with your past clients, I'm happy to tell you guys what I use, but definitely get something that's bulletproof even when you're busy. And this is just a look at the numbers of what we spend. So client events is big for us, our Friendsgiving, VIP door knocking. So our top 50 clients that refer us, we Christmas carol and door knock and bring them a little personalized gift. And now because of technology, they catch us on their Nest, and then they're tagging us and posting us on Facebook. So it's not us talking about ourselves, which is cool. And then we do 2 giveaways a year. We do an April giveaway and an October giveaway, and those are strategic as far as when and how we do those. And that's about $15,000 worth of our budget. Now, remember, I started with a game night, so you don't need $15,000 worth of a budget to do the events. It kind of built from there. We're going back to our game nights because everybody should be getting back to the basics, right? So are we. We're also door knocking again. We're also calling expireds again. We're doing all those other activities, including quarterly game nights for our top clients. And I'm strategic with who I invite to make sure they'll mesh together, because that could get weird if you have people that don't really get along. And that's about $800. I still do potluck style, right? And I invite them to my home. And then we do baby gifts, condolences, get well soon cards. So if I see somebody going through it on Facebook, or somebody had a new baby, we personalize that, and we have a budget to make sure that we can love on them that way. And then we've done 2 neighborhood crawls. Now, that's basically when you kind of farm your neighborhood, and it's an event that you can do to farm your neighborhood. We fell off from this. We're going to start it again this year, but just by doing 2, I haven't done one in about 3 years, but we had 4 closings, which our GCI was $50,000. And I just went on a listing appointment this week that started from one of those neighborhood crawls. And she wants me to sell her $600,000 house in July. And then she's buying a house in Bellevue for $1.1 million. And that's for one event, right? And obviously keeping intentional with the relationship. So if you go over to the right side, our social media presence is about 36% of our closings. Now, that's the platforms that I've been intentional about on those social media groups. I started when I first got licensed, and also just being relevant, right, on social media. So quarterly appreciation Starbucks referral cards is about $1,500. We send quarterly gift cards to anybody that gives us a hard referral, and anybody that tags us on those social media platforms, that even if it doesn't come into a lead or a transaction, or doesn't turn into that, we still thank them for that. Again, your clients want to feel appreciated, right? So second item on there is client congratulations social post. That's $0, you guys. If you're closing a deal, you need to congratulate them on social media. In my opinion, I think you should ask them. Once in a while, we get people that are like, oh, I didn't tell my mom. Please don't put it on social media, right? So get their approval. But any buyer, any seller, we always put it on social media. That's a way to love on your clients and tell people you're still doing real estate at the same time. And then relevant social media posts and stories to stay connected. That also doesn't cost you anything. The biggest tips I can give with social media is don't just talk about one topic. So you don't want to just be the realtor. You don't want to just be the mom. You don't want to just be the motivator. You want to have 5 different categories that are important to you. One being, something that revolves around real estate. For us, also, I have 2 kids, so around kids, and then pick 3 other topics that you are happy about, something that spikes your passion, and then be very strategic with when you're posting on those things. I do success stories, especially in a market like now. I have a lot of success stories with our sellers and our buyers. So when I have that, I'll post a quick story. It takes me 5 minutes. And I just got a listing appointment from that too last week, and we'll be listing that listing in June. So for the numbers, we spend about $21,000 on events and on client care strategies. And in 2021, we had a GCI of 933,000. So 90% of our business comes from client care. So reoccurring clients, past clients, or from social media and referrals. And so out of that, $840,000 of our GCI came from this. So spend $21,000, $840,000 GCI. Makes sense to me, right? A few tips: be intentional and be genuine. This is how different it has to be, right? So you have to get diverse in what you're doing and what you're talking about when you're scripted, and you're scripted, right? And if you practice your scripts enough, you don't even sound scripted. I call and do cold calls, and I never sound scripted because I'm practicing enough. I'm getting the time in my day to continue to practice. But especially when you're doing events and you're talking to your past clients, you have to be genuine and also intentional. Number two is know when to come branded and know when to come unbranded. So there's times where you don't want to be the person that is throwing a neighborhood crawl in your neighborhood, and now they think you're only doing that to get business, right? Come unbranded when it makes sense. And then number three, bring value and have real conversation. So every call you're making to past clients, have a piece of value you can bring to them, whether it's a class, whether it's, hey, I heard this about the rates and I remember you were talking about that and I just wanted to update you on this, right? Some type of value that you can bring to their life. Even if you just met a new landscaper and you know that they want to do a remodel. Hey, I met, George, and he wants to come look at your property. I thought about you, right? They feel important and they feel appreciated. So that's the goal there. And then have fun. We work a lot. My team is a team of 5. And so we're not a big team, and I am the main producing agent on our team. So we work hard, long hours, but we have fun doing it. And I get to hang out with people I like every day. And most of them are my friends. So have fun. Don't think too hard about it. Just do something that makes sense to you and makes sense to your business. Am I on time? Okay. This is what our business Instagram looks like. Now, we are just now getting intentional with our business side of our social media. So this is what that looks like. And we have, I could pretend I know what this is really, but Reese in the front, she's like my guru with all this stuff. I'm not techie, but we have our different categories here that we talk about. We put our stories. We make this look very clean, but if you guys want to see how I do my personal social media, that's our bread and butter. Totally add me on Instagram or Facebook, and you can see after hearing me how I'm intentional with those different categories and how I make that into future business. I think that's it. And if anybody has any questions.
I have a question. How much would the gift card did you say for like referrals? $25, or what was the kind of a standard?
She's my lifeline. Did everybody hear that? Yeah, so if it's a tag on Facebook, so tags on my social media, I'm up against other agents. And so it's not like somebody's just calling me. But if somebody tags me on social media or just puts our name out there, they get a $5 Starbucks gift card. And then if they give us a hard referral, like a friend calls me, something like that, then they get a $10 gift certificate.
Do you send like the payment fees? You send that or you
That's a good question. So every quarter we do it. If I get a hard referral, then that's when we'll send them a thank you, because that's that real. They're not shopping me. It's basically bring them in, consult them, get them out kind of thing. But if it's a tag and things like that, we do it on a quarterly basis.
So every time they get referral.
Yeah, and we have a full system on how we track this. So our TC team is my lifeline. And so they literally just keep track of every single person that's doing that.
So it sounds like you have a process. Is that right?
I have a process.
Is anybody picking up on that? A process? Weird concept.
Could you flesh out what a neighborhood call is?
Yes. Yes, yes, and it's so much fun, you guys. So what? Will you guys repeat the questions? Yeah, so she's asking what a neighborhood crawl is. So super easy, cost me about $500 per one that we did. And so I'm a host, right? It's my neighborhood. So I'm a host. And what we do is we say, okay, we're gonna do one cocktail or mocktail. You don't have to have alcohol. So one cocktail, one mocktail, and an appetizer, right? Super easy. We do fun little spins on it, like back to school, or, if it's Halloween, do something scary. And then what I do is I put in our Facebook group for that HOA or that neighborhood Facebook group, and I ask for other hosts. And we get about 3 to 4 hosts. And then I'm a wallflower. And then those 3 or 4 hosts, now they do a mocktail, cocktail, appetizer. And then we put it out to the entire neighborhood. And then anybody that wants to come, they'll start at my house. We talk for 10 or 15 minutes. I'm unbranded because naturally, what do you ask people when you start to talk and you don't know what else to say? What do you do for a living? Yeah. So we're unbranded, and then they come 15, 20 minutes. Now we all walk to the next house, right? And I map it out for everybody. So it's very systematized and it's all easy. And then we go there for 15 or 20 minutes. And then we walk to the next house. And so at the end of it, if you do have cocktails, you have like this big, like 20 to 25 group of people walking through the neighborhood, like having a great old time. I think last time we were like singing in the streets. And then at the end, now you know all of your neighbors, they know who you are as a person. And then you just keep getting intentional with those relationships. And then they're looking forward to that every single year.
I think one big thing
Good
too
question.
that she's going over is we're talking about the process, but you had a big thing about Yelp and Google. How are your Google reviews? You have a bunch of those as well.
We just started that.
Okay. So
we have 35 now, and that's because of Friendsgiving. We did a giveaway and said, hey, to enter the giveaway, if you haven't reviewed us already, because it's all of our past clients, go on Google. We did a little QR code, thanks to Reese. And we went from 3 to 35. And like I said, I think we've already had 3 leads come from Google.
if you guys aren't asking your clients for Google reviews, you're missing out on a lot of business. And I'm going to explain this to you. So the way that Google Analytics work is you ask for the review, and especially if you just crush a deal. Let's just say you just absolutely crushed it. They love you, got them into their home. They're super excited. Say, most of the time you can ask, hey, congratulations on your home. One thing for me is I work off 100% off of referrals. I love a review, and they're ecstatic to give you a review. Now, if they write a review, say, hey, listen, so Amber's team was amazing. I was a first-time home buyer. I bought in Pierce County, and I had no money down. So like all these buzzwords, right? So first-time home buyer, Amber McDonald, real estate, all those things, and you have them put that in there. Every single time someone searches, that's going to come up and direct them back to you. So this is a free way to get leads. We started doing that with our clients, and I was surprised how many leads we're getting from Google that I was like, you would ask them, say, hey, how'd you hear about us? They would say, oh, I looked you up on Google, I searched. Yeah. So this is free. If you guys aren't doing this, this is also a warm call. So if you're calling through your past sales, your database, you can call and just, hey, how you doing? Did you work? Did you play? You're, catching back up on that house. And you say, hey, by the way, if you have time, do you mind writing us a 5-star review, right? And then just a couple ways that you can help us is talk about, the city, the county that you brought in, and a couple buzzwords like that.
Now, be honest, you guys, is anybody in this room scared to ask for a review? I was very scared, especially because my business model is not about me. It's about them, right? And so I was scared because my business model is this way to ask them to now do something for me, which I was in my own head about that. But how we do it is we have a whole recap. And now I say it in the beginning in my consult, which you don't have a consult, have a consult. I tell them at the end, hey, I'm 100% referral based. If we are wowing you every step of the way, we'd love to work with your friends and family too. We'd love a review at the end. And if we're not, please let me know. So that's also retaining my business too before they get mad, because I'm giving them the opportunity to tell me how to be better. And then at the end, we give them their gift, and while I'm giving them their gift, that's when I bring it up. Because for my mentality, because I was scared, I was like, oh, I don't want to bug them. But now I'm like, here's this free stuff. And can you give me a review? Right. So if you are ever nervous about that, just figure out a way to get around that anxiety.
Any other questions out there? Anybody in the back? Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Good job. Give it up for Amber. So those of you who have the pleasure of working with Randi or hearing her present, she is absolutely amazing. So if you do have something to take notes and you want to talk or maybe go over some of the scripting or things like that, please make sure you dial in right now because you're going to get a bunch of nuggets today. So here's Randi Szakaly.
Oh my gosh, was that ever awesome? Thank you, Amber. That was so, so good. I hope you guys got a ton of information there. As I was listening to her speak, I thought to myself, gosh, that it really like underscores the kinds of agents that we can be, right? So she's obviously nailed farming. Like she's taken farming to the 7th level. Then we also have the hunters and we have the gatherers. How many of you guys are farmers? Okay. How many of you are gatherers where you walk around, oh, I'll take that deal. Oh yeah, you want me to list your home? Okay. How many of you are gatherers? Cool. Okay, lots of gatherers in the room. How many of you are hunters? Okay, that's a pretty good percentage. How many of you are breakfast clubbers? And if you don't know what that is, okay, so my breakfast clubbers, we are on the phones every morning at 7:30 and we are working on our skills and our role plays and our scripts and our dialogues so that we can do what? We're gonna set appointments. Who are we typically setting appointments with? Expireds for sale. So they're all sellers, right? And that works to some degree. How many of you guys know how to hunt buyers? There's no hands. Okay, so it used to be like, this is old school methodology, right? Go work floor time. Someone's gonna walk into your office. How many of you guys have picked up a lead on floor time lately? No, okay. Where are my open house agents? Okay, what percentage of the buyers that are walking into your open houses right now don't already have an agent? I'm not an open house agent, so you tell me. 1%. Okay, so is that a reliable method to pick up buyers? Okay, guys, so if we're in a buyer-driven market, we're gonna have to dust off our skill set on buyers and hunting those buyers, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, so Jason and I are gonna give you a script for you to call the people that you know. And what's the goal of a prospecting call? Can anybody tell me? Get an appointment, number 1. If you can't get an appointment, what do you want? What's the next best thing? A referral, 100%. Okay. And then what's the third best thing that you could get out of a prospecting call? And good job, Wendy. 100% for Wendy. I wish I had a draw and a giveaway. Yeah, you want an email address or some additional information or permission to contact them. So I've got a very simple script here. Jason helped me make it technical. There's a QR code. You're gonna scan the QR code. You can download the script if you want to follow along, but it's got a variation for anybody in your database, whether you're a new agent, whether you're an established agent. It's about 5 questions long, and you're gonna get either information, an appointment, a referral, or something that you didn't know before. So if you guys want to download that, and then Jason and I will role play it for you right now. Sure. A second, Mike. Okay, so I designed this for new agents, but if you're not a new agent, so the first line is, hi, blank, this is blank calling. I know we haven't spoken in a while. Is everything good with you and the family? If they say yeah or no, we've all been locked in the house with COVID all week, don't say that's great. Okay? Say, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Transition to the next thing. So if you're a brand new agent, you're gonna call and say, I just wanted to give you a quick call to tell you that I just got into real estate and I'm trying to update my most important contacts. Let's say you did not just get into real estate. You're gonna say, I just wanted to give you a quick call because I'm updating my most important contacts. What does that tell the person that you're talking to? Exactly. So is there anybody in your database that doesn't want to receive a call like that? So it's really low resistance, isn't it? Okay, so I've got some permeations of it that we're gonna practice right now. So bring.
Hello.
Hi, Jason. This is Randi calling. Hey, I know we haven't spoken in a while. Is everything good with you and the family?
Yeah, Randi, everything's great. It's good to hear from you.
Hey, it's good to hear from you too. So I just wanted to give you a quick call to tell you that I just got into real estate and I'm trying to update my most important contacts. So I wanted to confirm the best email for you.
Yeah, it's jason@gmail.com.
Perfect. Jason, thank you so much. I also wanted you to know about this cool new tool that I have that will keep you up to date with what's happening in the market and in your neighborhood. I wondered if you'd be interested in checking it out.
Yeah, you could send that over. That's fine.
Perfect. Now, what address should I put down for you?
My home address is 16393 118th Court in Bothell.
Perfect. Hey, Jason, are there any other properties that you'd like to track the value of?
Don't own any other properties, but this is fine.
No? Okay. Well, I'll get your home address entered and get that information out to you. So Jason, when either you or someone in your network is looking to buy or sell a home, do you have a trusted agent that you would turn to or refer?
I do not.
You don't have anyone?
No.
Okay. Well, I'd like to be that resource for you or anyone you know that's looking for a professional agent who offers great service. And on that note, who can you think of that's experiencing a life change that might cause them to move?
I can't think of anybody at the moment, Randy. Sorry about that.
Really?
Um,
No one that's getting married, got a new job, is expecting a new baby, or is planning to downsize?
I actually do have a friend who's having a baby, actually.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Do you think I could reach out to him, or would you mind introducing us?
Yeah, that'd be fine. I could do a 3-way text.
Hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Jason. You know, my business is based on referrals from great friends and clients like you. So if you can think of anyone who can use my services, would you let me know right away?
Absolutely.
Gosh, Jason, I appreciate you giving me that address. I'm going to send you a little something in the mail, okay?
Awesome.
Thank
Sounds
you for
good.
your time.
Yep.
Any questions about that one? Did that seem hard? Can you guys all do that? Okay, let's go down another rabbit trail now. Okay, same script. Oh, let me see. Let me find my page. I'm lost. I have too much paper, sorry. All right.
Do you need to scan the QR code?
Yeah, I think I do. Bring.
Hello?
Hi, Jason. This is Randi calling. Hey, I know we haven't spoken for a while. Is everything good with you and the family?
Yeah, everything's great, Randy. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Hey, I just wanted to give you a quick call because I'm trying to update my most important contacts. So I wanted to confirm the best email for you.
Yeah, it's jason@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, I wanted you to also to know about this cool tool that I have that will keep you up to date with what's happening in the market in your neighborhood. And I wondered if you'd be interested in checking it out.
You know, Randy, I'm probably good. I get plenty of emails. I don't really need any more.
Hey, no problem at all. I get too much email too. So I won't bother you with stuff that you aren't interested in, Jason. But I have to ask, is that because you are already in a home that you love and you have no plans to move? Or are you still renting?
We're renting, actually.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, no problem. How long have you been in your current rental?
It's been about 2 years now.
2 years.
Yeah.
That's great. How much can I ask you how much you pay in rent?
It's about $2,400 a month.
Wow, that's a lot of money to pay your landlord every month, isn't it?
I feel the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Well, that's okay. So Jason, are you at all curious about what kind of home you could buy for the same payment?
Yeah, I never actually thought about it. I'd be curious to see.
Okay. Well, hey, let's schedule some time to talk more about your specific situation. Can we grab coffee or would a Zoom call be easier?
We could meet on Zoom.
Okay. Well, I have a time available tomorrow or on Saturday. Which would be better for you?
Saturday.
All right, perfect. I'm going to get you guys scheduled in. Is noon okay?
That works.
Perfect. I can hardly wait. Hey, is it too soon for me to introduce you to a lender? Do you have somebody that you would turn to for that? I know this great guy, MK Bruce.
I know MK. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll introduce you guys as well. See if he's available for our Zoom call. Now, Jason, my business is based on great referrals from friends and clients like you. So if you can think of anybody else who could use my services, would you let me know?
100%.
Hey, I really appreciate it. So what did I get? I got an appointment on the second one. What did I get on the first one? Oh my gosh, I got so many things, didn't I? I got his email address. I got permission to contact him. I got his physical address. I got his agreement to contact me. I'm going to do one more like little permeation of this script. Okay. So let's say that Jason had said, when I said, so when either you or someone in your network is looking to buy or sell a home, do you have a trusted agent that you would turn to or refer?
Yeah, actually, my brother-in-law is a realtor.
Hey, I'm really glad that you have a real estate resource you can trust, Jason, but would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Okay, if anything changes in that relationship, would you let me know?
If I ever get divorced, I will let you know.
You know, a lot of my business is just kidding. So Jason, my business is based on referrals from great friends and clients like you. So if you can think of anyone who can use my services, would you let me know?
Will do.
All right. So can you guys, so obviously we've got answers in this script for every scenario. And actually this is a Brian Buffini term. So what he says is like, you can take this script and he calls it qualifying your database. Because, you know, if you're Amber, you don't want to be spending that kind of money on somebody whose sister-in-law is a real estate agent, do you? So why not just ask the question, hey, if you were going to buy or sell a home or you were going to refer an agent, is there somebody that you would turn to? And if they say yes, you can just say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for letting me know. Let me know if I can be a resource for you in the future. And don't be surprised, you guys, I have listed homes for people that have relatives that are agents because they don't want to mix friends with business. Or, you know, the husband might feel he has to use the wife's friend as the agent. But if he's at work talking to his buddy, he might actually be like, use so-and-so. So never underestimate the value of a referral and just make sure, again, don't fear the phone. Just lean into these conversations, practice them with your husband, like Amber said, or your friends or other agents. Don't practice on your clients, okay? All right, any other questions?
Cool.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there's Jason did a flow chart so that you are in front of you, and then there's a QR code on the bottom of the flow chart that you can scan and you can get that script for free. Yeah, they're all around, or there's some on the bar or whatever. I think that's you. Someone can introduce Andre. Oh, I think I kind of covered that. Sorry. Yeah. I guess I should have done this while I was. Yeah, there you go. Closing.
I will, I'll read them up. So, okay, so I want to do a quick, first of all, how was that, you guys, with Randi and Jason? Is that helpful? Make sure you don't leave without scanning that QR code. I know we only have so many. I don't know how big the audience is right now, but just make sure you guys get one because they're scattered all throughout the room. I can see them. But thanks, you guys. That was super, super powerful. So quick shout out. You guys see these really cool guys running around with the Acre shirts on. Quick raise of hands. You can see with the cameras. We got Brendan. We got Nathan. I'll bring up here. I want to acknowledge these guys and bring, actually have them come up here just to share a couple of items. So if you don't know who Acre is, they are a full service marketing media agency. And we're going to talk about how they partner with agents. So they partner with a lot of the top producers in our market, a lot of the top and dominant listing agents in our marketplace. And what they provide is far superior. And we talk about all the time, how do you create separation? Right? How do you create separation from your competition in the market like we are in? How do you win more deals? How do you provide a superior product, a superior marketing package, a superior level of service? And these guys do an incredible job. They're here doing the media and the live streaming of our event right now. But we work with these guys for a while, and they are a true partner. You know, I talked about how do you dominate in your business? You get the right partners and you get the right people. The reason they are able to do what they do at such a high level and at a more competitive even cost, if I'm saying that the right way, is because of what they provide not only in the luxury market for your average everyday price home as well for the entire state of Washington. So you guys need to know these guys. Reach out to them. I've got Nathan and Brennan that I'm going to bring up here just to share a little bit with you guys because this is absolutely a necessity in our marketplace. And I cannot emphasize this enough. On everything that we are talking about, everything that we were sharing with you guys, it's how do I create separation in my business from everyone else, right? And so these guys are a huge, huge asset and resource that people need to know about. So if Brendan, you're gonna pop up here, okay.
What's up, beautiful people?
What's up, guys?
You guys looking awesome today. Love the energy, love the attention that we're all giving to each other today, and all of the knowledge that's being passed around. So at At Acre, our vision, our goal is to have marketing be the last thing that holds you back from winning a listing, winning over a client. And our goal is to get you out there exposed on social media, on the digital front. You know, there's nothing wrong with mailers. There's nothing wrong with door knocking. I love cold calling. But on a digital frontier that we are all in, why are you not investing in social media, on your brand, where that is where the attention is? Today, we have your attention in person, but everyone every day is on their phones. Like 90% of people. You know, there's some people that are like, no phones. And our goal is to get you out there in front of your ideal clients and in getting more exposure over time and building a brand. I think that's something that for those agents that have been very successful, they've done very well. For the agents that might not be well known, today is your day. Tomorrow is your day. So I'll let Nathan jump into this for a little bit.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to touch on is you see the big fancy stuff. We do a lot of luxury, but also all price points, right? So you could be investing in your brand, whether you're doing the small listings in the suburbs. It doesn't have to be the big luxury stuff. That's what shows best for obviously visuals. And one thing about us that's a little bit different than going out and finding a photographer or videographer for each listing is we do it all in-house. So we're able to extend that at a wholesale rate and give you turnkey marketing for listings, social media.
Yeah. Think of us as an extension of your team. You need Nathan to show up because you're trying to land a $5 million listing. He'll show up. You know,
I've had to talk with luxury sellers and say, hey, this is how we're going to market your house exactly. And that's something that differentiates someone that's just going to hire just any old videographer.
If you want to see a sample, we have a QR code, but at the end we have a QR code you can scan. We're going to be doing a giveaway as well. Not $25 gift card. It's going to be a little bit more.
Also, if you can't scan the QR code, our Instagram is just acre.seattle.
Yep. All right. And we're fast. We have a lot of video editors on standby. So if you need an edit fast, if you need to turn around something with captions that's optimized for social, we can help you out with that. Can we hit the next slide? Cool. So our focus is on people. Like I think I heard a quote earlier, focus on the people, then you don't have to worry about the money. And so our focus is on service and people. We understand we're an extension of your team. So we're going to take care of your clients like they're our own. If you need us to interact with your homeowner, you can expect the utmost professionalism and service as well. And as you can see here, we believe that happy clients equals better business. If you are looking to capture the essence of your business, the connections that you have with your clients, we want to show up for that client testimonial video. We want to show up and tell the story of the home, the neighborhood. And if you want to, pop up on social and get lots of likes and comments, that's just a byproduct of good work. All right, hit the next slide. So Nathan, do you want to talk a little bit about our services?
Yeah, just a few frequently asked questions about everything that we do. The core of our business is definitely listing, photo, and video, but we have an emphasis on marketing you guys as agents when it comes to the video side. Because listing photos are going to sell the house at the end of the day. That's the bread and butter, but we want to create content that's going to help you sell yourself at the next listing presentation. So we give you an arsenal of tools that helps you stand out from the other agents. Yeah. To take that a step further, when you do go with high-end photography, you start to get noticed by neighbors in the neighborhood. You can really carve out a niche in the market you're trying to get into. And just about our services, photos, we always turn around next morning. Videos, typically 2 days. All of our Matterport, drone surfaces is all next day.
Yeah. So one thing you might not know about us is we actually are very well connected in the real estate space. I've been growing a company in California. We did like around 7,000-8,000 listings a year. And we do all of the marketing. We help with listing copywriting. We help with strategy. We help with getting just more exposure. Anything that you need, regardless of, a lot of you guys might have go-to marketing, help photographers, we can honor that relationship. We're here to just be an extension of that. And so if you want a second opinion, if you want us to just do an audit for you, just talk, saying, hey, do you need help with this? Do you need help with that? Just lean into us.
Just DM us.
DM us. We have a QR code here. Nathan, I don't know if you can just scoot aside a little bit. We're giving away free videos on social media. We're doing 10 videos that we're going to give away, whether it's at a listing that you want to book us on, or it's you want to do some expert reels, is what we call them. You presenting yourself as the expert in the marketplace, talking about the market transitions, the market movements, talking about what buyers, sellers should be anticipating in this market, getting them prepared, getting them trusting you. When you do that on the phone, it's a level of directness and intimacy that you can't get, on social media. I agree. But when you do that, that's one, and it does compound over time. But when you can do it on social media, and let's just say you have 500 followers, your friends, your network, you're going to reach, even if you reach 10% of them, it's 50 people. If you keep investing, maybe you'll have 2,000 followers and 5,000 followers. And maybe if you put out good content, you're going to start engaging in with 20%, 30%. Maybe even you go viral, but right now it's a pay to play model. You definitely have to invest to put out good content to get more exposure. The people that are doing it at the highest level have tripled down. You look at someone like Ryan Serhant, right? He has like a media company now with like 10 videographers doing videos for all of their agents. Why? Why is Ryan Serhant investing? Because it's working. He's putting $1 in and he's getting $5 out. Why wouldn't he double down, triple down on it? And you guys have the opportunity to do the same with your marketing budget.
And
So
I just want to touch on one thing you were saying. This can be turnkey and done for you, but there is still a level of work when it comes to building an online brand. So you still have to show up, but we still help with scripting, coming up with the ideas, everything that you'll need from start to finish. But we still expect to put some work in.
Yeah. And so here's the QR code. You can scan us. It's a contact card. Add us into your phone book. Shoot us a text. For those who shoot us a text, there's going to be something special on the other side. There's monetary value. There's no minimum spend. It's not like a coupon. It's a credit. So shoot us a text. Say, hey, we were at the Guild event, awesome EXP event, and all the sponsors. I can't list all of them. Just shoot us a text right now. If for those who don't have or who can't scan it for some reason, this is the number 425-389-6577. Say, hey, what's up, Nathan? What's up, Brendan? Heard you guys are gonna hook it up.
The phone is already blowing up right now. You guys are great.
We're actually gonna teach you how to work smart. We actually have 10 team members behind that phone number with a voice system called Open Phone. So
but we still work in it too.
Yeah,
Your founders are going to be talking with you as well.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. So thank you so much. Thank you, Michelle. Thank
You guys.
I just want to, questions. I know one of them is we got agents from Pierce County, Snohomish County. What areas do you guys service?
That's a great question. Our service area is all of Washington. So meaning even if you're Eastern Washington, if you're watching this on the live stream, we do all of Washington. The majority of our business is spanning from like Tacoma to Everett. So everything in between. Were there any other questions from anyone in the crowd over here?
Yeah. You guys said something about California. You guys diverged to California.
Yeah, so Brennan co-founded Aerial Canvas, and they're a big agency down there that's in the Bay Area and LA.
Still in business down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did around 7,000 last year. That was a lot of top agents. Nathan and I, we're trying to take over just like everyone else, So whoever wants to dominate the world, let's partner up. Yeah, so Nathan and I met on Facebook and we were just DMing each other. I was flexing on him a little, bro, look at my agency down in California. And he was like, dude, that's sick. Like, he actually flew down and we just were friends for a year. And last year, at the beginning of last year, we partnered up and I invested in his business. We just brought on a third business partner. I gave up some equity because I'm a big believer in the more you give, the more you get. And so,
And
that's how we met.
quick background with me. I've been shooting real estate in the Northwest for almost 5 years now. And I train all of our staff one-on-one. So one thing about us is you're not going to get an independent contractor to shoot. These are all our employees and it's the same people over the years. So it's the same faces, you know who you're going to get. So it's a consistent product every time.
Another question on listing appointments, can you meet the agent of listing appointment?
Great question. So he just asked, do we have to meet the agent on a listing appointment for a listing presentation or a shoot?
You're going to a listing presentation, like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm coming here with my team and here's how we're going to market your place.
Yeah, we've done that. And to take that a step further, we've actually captured content of the process. So that's also a good opportunity for like a reel or something like that.
I think it'd be
Yeah.
more powerful to both parties. I think.
Yeah. So showing up to a listing presentation. Yeah. The high end stuff. Absolutely. Yep. That's in our wheelhouse. Yep. Cool. Any other questions about our services or about us? Trailer park? Yeah, we shoot trailers. Okay, we're gonna get the event rolling.
I just wanted to give them a shout out. I use them exclusively and they are the best I've ever used. The funny thing is Nathan reached out to me about my photos and it was the best photographer that I'd had. And he just like lit him up and like, not lit him up, but like, he's like, let me retake those. I'm like, dude, that's my best photographer. What are you talking about? But anyways, I use them 100% exclusively. Anybody else here using them at the moment? Okay. Okay, cool. Compass agents. Okay, cool. Yeah. If you haven't checked them out, definitely try them out. Like I'm 100% exclusively using these guys. So just wanted to give a testimonial.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Any other questions? What's that? How do you win?
It's the infinite game. You don't win, you just love the process.
Couldn't have said it better. Yeah. Yeah, cost, all of our pricing is public on our website. It's fully transparent. It's by square footage. We don't charge per photo. We don't charge for revisions. All of our listing photos, we do the green grass replacements, sky replacements, even on the interior photos. And we actually do flash ambient process. So we're not doing HDR. It's not like a quick in and out thing. It's a very extensive process. You're gonna have accurate colors. It's gonna be expert compositions.
Sweet.
It scales with square footage. So all the pricing is public. Yeah.
Pull up house looking like the desert.
Who needs to level up their marketing game? Who needs to, right? Most all of us. So thank you again, guys. Thank you, Anchor. They're doing a great job. Again, I want to emphasize this. Everyone on here, right? We're always looking at what's the best product, what's the best service, right? What's the best resource? How do we create that separation? And all of you guys should go to their website, like Jody asked, all of their pricing, everything's there. Look at the quality of what they're doing. You're not going to get that type of quality in an all in-house product that does everything. Those of you that, whether you're at a high level in marketing or just getting started, they're here, they're local. These are directly who you'd be talking to help you create that strategy of what you're trying to do, whether it's just setting up photos for a listing, a reel, or create the entire marketing strategy of your brand. These are people that will partner with you, consult with you, help you create what that looks like. So, and like they were talking about, immediate turnaround, very high service. So they're pretty awesome. So reach out, go to their site. It's got everything on there. You guys can see everything from there. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so next real quick here, you guys heard for a moment. Oh, good, we do have sound. Thought we did something wrong for a moment. Real quickly here, raise of hands. Who are my breakfast clubbers in here? Right? So I'm looking around the room. That's a nice little, segment of you guys. So for everyone else, that's like, well, what is that? What are you guys talking about? You guys heard Randi talking about it before, which I love, right? She's like, who are my hunters? Who are my gatherers? This is something we are known for. If you guys haven't noticed that have been to our events or are going to see some of the next stuff that we talk about, we're very big on giving tactical, applicable scripting processes. What do I say, right? How do I generate more business? how do I convert more business, right? Doesn't matter where it comes from, guys. Doesn't matter if it's from farming, from mailers, from internet leads, from door knocking, from cold calling. It doesn't matter where our business comes from, right? What is going to be the determination in how we generate and how we convert that business? What's going to determine that? It's our skills, right? It's always going to come down to what do we say? And this is one of the biggest voids in our industry of just having that confidence, right? Whether I'm talking to my past client that's called me or talking to that seller right now that I just called or whatever the scenario is, right? What do I say in every scenario? Right? What are the strategies when navigating a deal? What do I say in those scenarios? Because that's what the game changer is. That is the degree of separation. So something that's worked on in this Breakfast Club is exactly that, right? It's those applicable tactical skills. It's why we have agents. I'm just going to use some random examples, right? Selling 10 homes a year can sell 3 to 4 homes a month immediately after being worked on here's how you actually convert the business you're already talking to, you're already generating, right? It's how we can help new licensees. Same thing, be selling 3 to 4 homes a month their first month forward because we're showing them you're generating business, you're going out there and doing the activities, you're sending the stuff out, right? But are you mastering actually what to say and how to say it? This is a really big thing for us. So this is an invite that I extend to all the guests in here. We're very open books. It's like, come check it out. Just come. I promise you, you will leave with something of value that's going to help you in any different ways you run your business, right? Doesn't matter where your business comes from or how you're doing it. Everybody here should take value away from it. So I want to extend that to you guys. I know we have like a 20-second little video I'll show you, but how you get access to that, you can reach out to any of us. I think you can find all of us as speakers, whether you find us on social media or directly, and whoever maybe invited you or got the link to you, anyone can provide you guys that link. But I encourage you guys, come see what it's like. We want to provide value. And this is something that you guys can take away. It's every single day, Monday through Friday, right? It's every morning, but it's something you guys can check out at your leisure. It's not on camera, you dial in, and there's so much value there. We'd love you guys to come check it out and see if it's helpful for you in your business and just take that, away into what you're doing. So let's roll a little quick promo.
Coming in hot. Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. But it's short. We have a lot of fun with it, but we open it to all guests. Again, we just want to be able to bring that tactical value back to people, help them get that movement forward in whatever they're dealing with in their business. So anyone interested in jumping in as guests into that, find us, reach out to us. We have a lot of fun. It's just open forum and anyone can join it. So.
Awesome.
Okay, and quick thing before we jump into the rest of the meat potatoes. We like to have a lot of fun. So anybody that might want to attend with us, we are having a New Year's party tomorrow evening in South Keene. So we're gonna have a ton of people there, a bunch of different partners and vendors and guests. This is gonna be fun, right? Right now we're here to learn, we're here to work on our skills, right? We also wanna have fun. So drinks, food, dancing, music, being able to network and spend time together and just have a lot of fun. We want to extend that since we're here at this event today. So if anyone wants to attend as guests, we're all just going to be having fun as partners and agents throughout the industry. So we wanted to extend that as well. And for a lot of you guys, we'll see you tomorrow night. Okay.
Try January start tomorrow.
Perfect.
Let's go right in the name first.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, guys, this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break and then we're gonna get into the main meat potatoes of everything that's going on. So use the restroom, get some more food, get a drink, come back to your seats in 5 minutes. And we're gonna start the panel and really get down to the nitty gritty. 5 minutes.
That's a good. Jody's like, I'm just
I just All right, guys, do me a quick favor, grab some burritos and a drink and go back to your seat. Let's get started here. Really quick. Starting in about 1 minute. 1 minute call. All right, guys, here we go. Take your seats. Let's get ready to roll. Grab some burritos. Let's go. Let's go. That was all right, guys, here we go. Let's get started. All right, so one quick thing. I have an irrational fear of running out of food, so I may have ordered a ridiculous amount of burritos. So please, dear God, eat some burritos. Make me feel good about that. I'm one of 8 kids, and it's a real fear of running out of food. So make me feel good and grab a burrito and donut. Yeah, so you're on. All right, grabbing seats in the back. Where's Randy? He's still there. Yes. Where's Shackley? Exactly. The S is silent. Randi. Randi Szakaly. And she's back. Where's Amber? She's in the bottom. All right. Okay, guys, here's the main meat and potatoes, what you've all been waiting for. This is the live panel discussion. So we have Randi, Amber, Andre, Michelle. We're going to be up here. So a couple things we're going to go through. We're going to talk about some common objections that you guys are seeing in the market right now. How many people are hearing people? What's a common objection that we have right now? So working with the market. What interest rates? What's another one? Come on. Down payment's a huge one. What else?
Market's going down.
Credit score, market, whole bunch of things. So we're going to go through those right now. You have literally the top realtors right here, and they're going to tell you exactly what they do or how they overcome these objections, and we're going to talk through that together. Okay? So first question that we have right now is why buy now? This is a question that we're all getting. You're talking to a person that's like, oh, I'm going to wait, but why buy now?
So yeah, I like to do like a scenario, right, where I have a specific client. But I mean, the obvious things are if you bought 5 months ago, 3 months ago, well, I guess 4 to 6 months ago, would you have gotten inspection contingency? No, Would you have got your offer accepted with down payment assistance? Nope, wouldn't have got a look in. Did you have to bring closing costs? How much money did you have to bring above list price, usually to buffer the appraisal. Okay, so does it sound like we have a little bit more negotiating room now? Awesome, so let's get off the fence and get in the market and buy a house.
I like that. I want to be my authentic self. I want to be my authentic self in my response. Why buy now? I mean, it's more favorable. Before the market, and you guys are more aware of this, it took the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost to get your offers accepted. You had to inspection. Lord Jesus, you better take that out. 22 AD. Where's my 22 AD? Oh, you're 100,000 over. Do we at least back it by 75,000 or more? Right now is the perfect time. I mean, it's more of a buyer's market to me, and I'm more passionate about buyers. I said, now is perfect with the programs that our lenders are offering to keep your payment on planet Earth, as well as the ability to have your home inspected, the ability to negotiate a 4-piece and a biscuit. You can get anything you want. So at this point, you know, I would not wait. Don't miss the bus.
For this man.
Who can afford the 4-piece and a biscuit?
How do you answer after that?
Amber,
What he
Amber.
said.
Amber.
So really what they said, and the only thing I'll add is what Randy said is it's a specific situation. So be careful with who you're talking to. If you get jumbled when you're talking on the phone, ask questions. That not only lets you know who you're talking to, but it also gives your brain a minute to adjust and think. And I mean, if you can afford it and you can get the pre-approval, you have the best seat at the table right now to eat. And that's what they need to know is, you know, rates that can change, but getting a deal, getting $20,000 for a credit from the seller, that was not a thing 2 years ago or even a year ago.
And one big thing for you, Amber, while you have the microphone, so your husband's a veteran. You work with a lot of VA buyers.
Yeah.
Talk to everybody out here. Like, what are some advantages or certain ways that you're pushing some of those deals forward?
Yeah, so BAH just went up, which is housing allowance. So that was good. And we're educating. So we lead with education heavily and figuring out everybody's specific situation. But even in the heat of the market, I mean, there's 15 offers against VA, you know, and I tell them those stories of, yes, I'm a negotiator, but we were up against 15 offers. Some were cash, which we beat out because we're negotiators. Some were conventional, some were FHA, but it was not easy. And I educate my clients through those experiences. And then I figure out, what is your monthly payment goal? What is your BAH? Where do you want to be? And then we figure out what kind of credit that we need to get that rate lower. And that's my job at that point. And I make sure that they have confidence in me as their realtor that I'm going to get you what you need. I just need to know how much money we need from that seller.
Perfect. Let's go. Next question here. So we get this. I think Amy said the same thing. So one of the most common objections, I guess, on the lending side are rates are too high to purchase right now, right? We're in this market right now where obviously rates are higher than a year and a half, 2 years ago when we were locking in 3%, right? 2.875. So you have folks right now that may be move-up buyers or folks that are first-time home buyers that are looking at the interest rates, not necessarily at the price of the home or the overall deal. So when you get that objection, rates are too high, what do you say, Andre?
Well, the beautiful thing is, you know, having a background in lending as well. There's programs out there that will keep your payment on planet Earth. We are able to ask the seller for seller concessions, depending on the program, sometimes up to 6%, sometimes up to 3%, that allow us to utilize those buy down programs. They've been very creative and aggressive, like 2-1 buy downs, where they're qualifying at the higher rate, but the payments down for the first 2 years. So that's what I try to highlight that. You know, you want to really instill hope too. When you're talking to these buyers, you know, look, they're coming to you as the expert. If your attitude is negative from the jump, you're losing right there. You know, you always have to look for the good, as my pastor says. So you just inspire hope there and hold their hand through the process and just say, hey, I have a solution. Let's take a look at this.
I think too, validation. You know, when somebody's scared, when somebody's giving you these objections, validate them before you go into your next part of your script. And that immediately is going to take their guard down a little bit. Cause I mean, what do you say when somebody's like, hey, rates are too high? And you're like, trust me. I mean, let's talk about the Fed, you guys, right? That makes them feel like, oh man, she gets it. She's not just trying to sell me on something. And then remind them of the facts. So be fact-based. If you don't know the numbers, if you don't know and you're not watching the market, what the Fed's doing, what all of this is happening in each part of your market, learn it. That way, when you're in front of them, you come very educated. And at the end of the day, I mean, rates change. And so I always educate my clients. That is, nobody has a crystal ball. So I'm not going to take the liability of telling you we're probably going to see those rates drop, because if they don't, guess who they're calling? Calling me, and they're mad, right? And so I always preface that. And then I tell them, though, you know, when and if rates do drop, which is projected, you can renegotiate that. You can't renegotiate your price point. And then at the same time, you know, I let them know that if they, for some reason, continue to go higher, are you going to be mad that you didn't get this rate now if they go higher? So that just takes out every other objection. And I say that before the conversation keeps going, because then, I mean, all they have to say is, all right, let's talk to a lender and get pre-approved.
So Amber's gonna role play with me.
No, Randy, we talked about this.
Tell me.
I'm not Randy. I'm not Randy.
You get
Just
to
so
be
you
the
guys know.
buyer.
You're such a badass.
Just tell me
Okay, I'll
that
be
the
the buyer.
rates are too high. Just tell me that the rates are too high.
Okay.
So Amber, is there anything stopping you guys from buying a home?
Well, obviously, don't you know, rates are astronomical right now. I'd never be so dumb to buy right now.
Oh man, yeah. I agree with you. The rates are really high, aren't they?
Yeah.
A lot of buyers feel exactly the way that you do. Do you want to know what they do?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what they've realized is that the 6% interest rates, as much as they're, you know, different than they were before, are still better than paying 100% of that rent money to their landlord. So you said you're paying $3,000 a month in rent, right?
Yeah.
That's $36,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Well, when you say it like that.
Yeah. So if we could figure out how you could pay yourself rather than pay your landlord, would you be open to looking at some scenarios?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds smart.
Awesome. Let's set an appointment.
Okay, cool. I'm a nice buyer. I am a nice buyer.
So that could have gone a couple different directions, right? She was ready for it. So rates are too high. This is a common objection we always get. Everybody's leveraging the buy down program right now. Guild is actually the only lender right now that can do a temporary buy down with down payment assistance. So if you're looking at something, working with a client right now with Andre too, they have no money for down payment. We're piloting a program with DPA where we can do the temporary buy down and do down payment assistance. So now somebody was like, hey, I only can afford $2,500 a month. Right now they got a $3,500 payment and we're getting them down to that. But now they're in a realistic price point that they can purchase, right? Get used to that payment, have it step up for a couple of years until they get into it or refinance, right? So we also talked about these leverage relationships right now. So I'm sitting down with the buyer and they're saying rates are too high. And I said, okay, what if we locked in right now at 6.5% and Guild does a no lender fee refinance when the rates do come down? Does that work for you? Buyer says, oh, wow, I don't have to pay lender fees with that. That would work. So we're overcoming the objections and trying to find the hot buttons of what is actually the problem. Is it really the rate? Probably not, right? Probably just scared and maybe not educated because they're trying to figure out how to buy a house on YouTube, right? Now we need to sit down and help them understand, right?
So when I take that time to sit down with Amber, right, and you guys go through your buyer consultation, the next thing you want to do is find your lender partner, like MK, right? I'm going to call MK and say, hey, MK, Amber and her husband are interested in buying a home. They're concerned about the rates, right? They've got great income. They're paying $3,000 a month in rent. Here are their pain points. Here are their fears. Here are the concerns. Let's solve this problem together. Now I just brought in a partner who's got all of the ammunition to massage the figures. MK is going to say one thing. I'm going to say the same thing. Are they going to match? They're going to be in alignment. How are Amber and her husband going to feel? Like they're being really well taken care of, and that these consistent messages that are coming from their lender partner and their agent partner, we are going to be louder, we're going to be clearer, and we're going to be more confident than the crappy media and the fear that they're trying to perpetuate. Because it's still a great, like my pastor says,
Yes.
Let me bring you the good news. It's still a great time to buy a house. It's still a great time to own a house. A home is still the best way for you to grow and perpetuate your wealth as American citizens. So please tell me what is stopping you from buying a house today. I really want you to pay yourself instead of your landlord. Do you think people get behind that? Hell yeah, they can.
Hell yeah, they can. All right, next question is gonna be credit score is too low. This is a common objection we get all the time. How many people say, well, I checked Credit Karma? You guys hear that a lot? Yeah. I checked Credit Karma 18 months ago, and it said this, right? So credit score is too low. When you get that objection, what do you got?
I mean, so I think it's really important to handle that one with extreme care because that's a vulnerability factor, right? Like they've just been quite vulnerable with you. So, and I have this blessing where I'm Canadian and I know what it's like to have had to rebuild my credit when I was grown. So I just say to them, oh my gosh, I know exactly how you feel. I've been in exactly the same boat as you were when I first got to the US. I had no credit at all. I know how hard it is. By the way, do you have somebody helping you with that? Are you aware of the score that's required to buy a house? Because we can actually get you into a home with as little as 590, 620 is better. But also you may not realize that if I send you with a great lender partner, they can actually take a look at your credit profile, see what's dragging your score down. And then if you are able to fix it with cash or whatever else, they can do a rapid rescore and then we could get you into a house. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, let me connect you with MK right now. I'm going to put you guys in a group thread.
I think the biggest thing with buyers, like, do you really know? They don't know what's required. They don't know. So it's really leaning on your lending partners and just saying, hey, let's not assume, because we have some pretty aggressive products out there. Let's take a look at where your credit is. You know, let's do the pre-qualification. Let's not skip steps. A lot of times people want to rush to chapter 3 when we need to start at chapter 1. And let's figure out what the hell we're working with. Okay? I know a lot of y'all have been out there showing houses. You're like, Lord, please let them be able to buy water. Please, Lord. I've been one of those agents. So it's really, let's not skip steps. Let's talk. And if their credit isn't there, they're okay. It's not there yet. Here's what you need to do to get there. And we're going to work together. And you'll see how serious they are. Because look, we can't want it more than they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we can't. Look, this is for you. I'm going to be hopefully a blessing in this. But you have to want it more than me. So if you follow with my lead, I'll get you to the promised land. Come on.
Amber?
I don't want to go after you anymore. So what Randi did was she related to her client and she validated her client and then she brought the solution, right? And what Andre did was he made sure that you're not going to skip steps. If you're showing houses and your client is not pre-approved, you're doing yourself and your client a disservice. And tell them that too if they try to push. We will show one house to a client and it is very rare. And that's only if we can't get them on the phone. I'm like, cool, let me show at the house. We're going to do my consult there, right? For me, I also can relate to having really bad credit. And I can also relate to being scared. For my first house, my lender had to tell me for 6 months to do an application because I was terrified. And so that's how I relate. Whether you've gone through, you know, what Randy's gone through, what I've gone through or not, there's a way to relate to them. And then at the end of the day, I always ask my clients, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You don't get pre-approved, but you're with my partnered lender and MK is going to tell you, hey, this is how you can get pre-approved in 6 months. And that's where your follow-up system comes into play because the right now client is great. But the 6 months client is also great. And now you are building your business for 6 months down the road. And that's when you're following up and making sure they're doing the work, if they do it.
So tell me that you want to see a house, but you're not going to get pre-approved.
Like, really?
Yeah, tell me.
You're back.
Hey, Anna.
Okay, you got it. Hey, Randy, I really love this house, $600,000. And oh my God, it's the one. Can you meet me there this
Yeah.
afternoon?
Okay, so you've seen the house that you love
Yeah.
and you really want to buy it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm so excited for you because I'm excited that there's a home that you've seen that has got you this excited. Here's my concern though, Amber. If you love this house, how many of the other buyers do you think are in love with it?
I mean, it's a slow market, so maybe one other one.
Yeah, you might be right. But if I take you out there and you fall in love with it and it takes you 72 to, you know, I don't know how many hours to get a pre-approval and then we lose it, how are you going to feel?
Pretty sad, but you know, my
Yeah.
cousin John, he's a realtor too. He said he'd show it to me. So if
Yeah,
you're
I mean-
busy,
And maybe he should show you. I value your time. and I value my time. And the worst thing is when I have a client, I show them a home, we take the time to go look at the house, and then it's the one that gets away because we didn't follow the right steps. So if you're convinced that it's the one, don't you think it's a great idea for you to just get pre-approved so you know exactly what you're looking with regards to payment? And if you like it, then at least we can jump straight into terms and I can secure that house for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
How fast can that happen?
Well, let's get you on the phone right now. And then are you available after work today to view the house?
Yeah, totally.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Because you make it about them, right? But you do not want to be the agent that is showing 5 houses before you realize that they have a gap in their income and they're not gonna be able to buy. So, but you need to practice that conversation where it's like loving and you repeat. Do you notice I repeat and I agree with everything she says? Absolutely. I'm so excited for you. And then I ask her another question where she has to go, oh shit. And then we change the dynamic.
And don't be scared of John, the realtor. Sorry if there's any Johns out here, but don't be scared if they say that. Stick to your guns and have that confidence in that conversation.
If John was their realtor, he would have shown it to them already.
Very true.
Message. Message. And Amber, what does your preacher say? All right. So just to follow up on that same exact thing. So I know the deals that go the smoothest are when you're in line with your realtor partner and you're both pushing for that pre-approval, the same message every single time. We try and get every single client pre-approved within 24 hours. So if you're a real estate agent, you're out there and you're pushing, you're saying, listen, I need you to get all the documentation uploaded to MK right now. I can have that pre-approval before you guys even go look at the house, depending on what kind of income that they have, okay? So make sure you're pushing that. And those close typically within about 14 days. Those are quick closes, they're strong closes, and that's how you get your good reviews when you're on the same page, okay?
Because I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, but like the good stuff is going. The good stuff's going fast. And then there's some dried up old crappy stuff left, right? Yeah.
My listing just went under contract in 24 hours over list, no credits. So, and they didn't ask for any repairs.
Let's go.
Not to toot my own horn, but just so you guys know, it's not a blanketed market.
Dude. Oh, hello. All right, here we go. So next one, this one's very common. My payments are too high, okay? We talked a little bit about this. We're kind of going over it again, but I'm a client. You'll probably want to role play this, but payments are too high. Let's start with you, Amber. My payments are too high. You got a borrower that says that to you.
Oh, that's a good one. So payments are too high. That's when I instantly, again, go back to education. I start asking questions. And if like just now, I'm like, okay, well, what would I say? Specific situations is what it is. So for us, I already know before I'm talking to my client what their BAH usually is, which is for military, they want to stick within their BAH. And I know that yes, basic housing allowance. So that's what, thank you. Sorry. So that's what the military gets for their housing allowance, right? And so for me, I'm using facts. So for me, it's, well, I also know the military just got a 4.6% raise across the board, and we just got a BAH raise as well. I also educate on rent is going to continue to go up. If prices are going up, you're renting. How long do you think it's going to take before your property manager or your landlord is now upping that rent higher than what your BAH is, right? So do you want to utilize your VA loan, 0 down, and pay off your own mortgage? And we'll figure out the payments, or do you want to continue to risk that your landlord's going to continue to up and up your rental price? And then also the 2-1 buy down's huge. So I'm huge with being super fact-based and transparent. So I make sure that they know what that looks like in 3 years if for some reason they can't refinance, because again, they're going to be calling me if that doesn't happen, and now they're mad and there goes my whole business model. So making sure that they know that, but also, you know, if rates don't come down, you know, cost of living keeps going up, you know, raises are going to happen, whether you're military or not, they should, or you'll figure it out, but you're always going to be paying for your house. So do you want to own it, or do you want to pay off somebody else's mortgage? And then I also tell them that they can go live in my rental if they want to pay off my mortgage. That's a huge kicker.
These women are feisty. Lord have mercy. This question is a heat check. This is ultimately sales, everyone. And in sales, we don't stop at the first no. It's working on overcoming objections. So I like personally to do hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being nightmare on Elm Street, get me the hell up out of here, and 10 being I have to have it. Where are you at? If they're 8 to 10, 10 preferably, hey, then you're gonna spend a little more for something that checks more boxes. I'm just different like that. Like most of the time people upsell themselves, and just reminding them of what they like. And yes, this might be a little bit uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, that can change. This property won't. So it's that takeaway method mixed with a little bit of salesmanship to help me overcome it personally. So
I'm gonna investigate, and you don't get to live in ambiguity with me. So your payment's too high, MK? Yeah. Okay, so what payment is the lender giving you?
He's giving me $5,000.
$5,000 a month, okay, what are you guys paying right now?
Paying $3,900.
3,900, okay, what's the maximum comfortable payment that you guys would be willing to, like, that you'd be comfortable with moving out of your current situation?
$4,350 at the max.
$4,350 at the max, okay, so it sounds like I just have to find you $650 a month until you could get refinanced into a lower rate, is that right?
As long as my payment doesn't go over that.
Okay, obviously, I'm not a lender, MK, but I do want to diagnose and understand your problem. So $650 a month. Somebody get a calculator out quick. Do me 24 months, quick. 24 times 650. 15,600. Okay, so what I need to do then is find a home that meets all of your criteria, or the concept of the 85% right house, which I'll take you guys through another day. But I need to find you a home that's 85% right, and make sure that the seller has $15,000 worth of room in credits so that we can buy the rate down to what's most comfortable. Okay, so if I can make it happen for you at $4,350, are we still good to go and look at this home? Excellent, let's do it.
are we on the car lot? No. The car lot, if I could, would you?
It's our tie down.
Yeah.
And I'm removing all of their objections so that I can control my business, right? I'm trying to understand their level of motivation so that I can identify the people in my database that are most likely to transact, that are most motivated, that I can be the most value to. And then I'm going to identify what their actual concerns are so that I can address those concerns and get them going where they're going. Because it's human nature for us to overthink things, isn't it? Who's the expert in the room? We are, or the lender is. And so if we don't, come at them with questions to understand their problem and then educate them to make them feel comfortable, we're gonna, closed mouths don't get fed. We're gonna be hungry. So.
And I like to eat. Come on now.
4 pieces and a biscuit, please. Okay, so one big thing too is that handoff is so important, right? So let's just say Randy reaches out to me. We have a 3-way text and saying, listen, we're looking for this specific payment. This is what they have for down payment. Now we're exploring, right? Do you have down payment? Do you have a 401k? Do you have a gift from family members? We're looking at this. So let's just say somebody's got, a $500 a month car payment, but they only owe about $6,000. Can we take $6,000 you're going to put down the house, pay that off? Now you got $500 that's gone a month, right? And now we're affording that. So now we're bridging that gap of the $650 that we want. But it's just sitting down and having a conversation. And as long as we're on the same page, it works. The other thing with that, making sure when we're putting in an offer, are we connecting, right? Are you with your partner and saying, hey, listen, by the way, when you put in this offer, remember, we can only go to this point with this amount of HOA dues on this condo, right? How many times we gotten a pre-approval letter for $650 and they forgot to tell you that, oh, with HOA dues, that changes the whole approval. Anybody out there? If you're not on the same page, that's what's going to happen. That's where the fallout happens, right? So we're on the same page. Randy goes in to put the offer. I say, listen, Randy, before you put in this offer, let's run numbers on this property. I want to make sure you have these numbers. It works at $650, but we have to have $15,000 in seller credit. I'm going to use it for the buy down, right? Buying the rate down so it stays in our debt to income ratio. If you do not ask for this credit, we do not get it, we cannot qualify for this house. Period, right? We're on the same page with that. Or you and I sit down, we figure out what we do to bridge the gap to get that deal done, correct? Yep. Okay, just make sure you're having clear communication with that, okay? This is another great question. We're in a recession right now. I need to wait. What do you guys hear on that? We're in a recession.
Tell me more.
We're in a recession.
I'll crowdsource this one. What does recession mean to you? What do you believe about a recession? Houses are crashing. Can I show you some data? So only in the most recent recession, and the one that is most firmly burned into our mind in the 2008 recession, did we lose significant value in property. Okay, so that was a loose lending criteria fueled recession. It was irresponsible lending that caused to some degree that recession. But actually, if you look at the economic cycles, the real estate market is an 8 to 10 year cycle, and in the last 5 recessions, it was only the 2007-2008 crisis where homes went down, and actually the previous 4 home prices either remained the same or actually went up slightly. And actually, Mr. Prospective buyer, what is the other hot button topic that we're all hearing about in the media right now? Inflation, exactly. And so if inflation is going on, what's the landlord going to do with your rent? Right. But if I can get you into a home today that would fix your cost of living for the next 30 years, do you think that would be a good hedge against inflation? Okay, so now that you've seen all the facts, are you ready to make a decision?
Okay, they real up in here today.
And now your buyer is not listening to the news anymore, right? They're not listening to Uncle Tim that's telling them that it's the stupidest thing in the world right now to buy a house because it's crashing, because you are now listening to your expert. And then you have to ask them, so going back in history, right, during a recession, what happens to the rich? The rich get richer, right? So do you want to get richer, or do you want to have regrets? And that's the big question I ask my clients.
I think they said it well enough.
Do you want to role play with me?
I'm scared of you. No, in all honesty, though, recession, at the end of the day, if something's meant for you, you're going to get it. I'm spiritual. I wear my blessed shirt. I don't know where y'all are at that. I'm not going to get into that. But at the end of the day, if something's meant for you, you're going to get it. So to me, I don't feel like you should miss out on your blessing. So, we explore it. If it works for you now, great. If not, in terms of a recession, I don't like to dwell in the negative. I deal in positivity. I look at the glass half full. And when I'm speaking with my people, I try to manifest that as well. So
what other concern might they have when they talk about a recession? Job security. Andre, tell me you're worried about your job.
I'm worried about my job.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know if I'll have it next month. I mean,
I hear you.
They hired some younger person that was skinny and,
Oh.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
They sound stupid, but I'm so glad that you brought that up. I really appreciate you letting me know, because I have to ask you, do you believe, so you're gonna have to live somewhere, right?
Yes. I mean, my friend has a nice couch.
Yeah, I know. But what about your family?
I mean, they can fend for themselves.
So
They're grown.
not a good role play partner.
No.
So at the end of the day, do you have more rights as a renter, or do you have more rights as a homeowner?
Homeowner.
As a homeowner, right? So if you genuinely are concerned about job security and we can get you into a home, there's obviously programs available, and the 2007-2008 recession is a very good example. If you knew anybody who owned property at that time and was struggling to make payments, if you were proactive and you talked to your lender, you're probably able to work through it. If you were reactive or you put your head in the sand, you probably lost the property. And of course, there's cases, again, I don't mean to, that was a tough time for everybody, so I don't mean to paint with too wide a brush. But the actual reality is, if you were able to weather that storm and carry that property through, even with a bunch of probably unpaid costs, what happened in 2010, 11, 12, 2012, 13, 14? You were back in the green by like 2011. And then you were in profit by 2012. And if you made it through 2019 or 2020, you did really well, right? So again, it's our job to just educate them with facts. We don't push them. We just educate them, and then let them decide.
All right, next we have live role play. Let's do this really quick. Since these guys are crushing up here, anybody has any questions on any objections that you're getting right now in the market? Let's do probably 4 or 5 of them really quick. Just throw them up here and we'll go through those. Anything that's going on right now that we need to talk through. Get everything? That's it? Okay.
What are your sellers saying? Your sellers must have objections. You can't get what you want for it? Okay, who's, okay.
Jason.
So Jason, tell me what specifically you intend to do with the proceeds of your sale.
We're buying a new house and that's why we need 700,000.
Okay, so you're taking the proceeds out of this house and you're buying a new house?
Correct.
Have you seen what the builders have been doing with incentives and promotions recently?
No, what do you mean?
They're also adjusting their prices for the market. So it sounds like you're buying a more expensive house. We're gonna sell this $600,000 house and you guys are buying a $750,000 new house?
Correct.
Okay, so as long as we can get, as long as we can keep the spread, that's the difference between the home, and the price of the home that you're selling and the price that your home that you're buying, relatively the same. Are you guys still ready to make a move? Because it doesn't really matter what you get for your home. It matters what you're gonna have to put down on the next home and what you're gonna have to pay for it, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, because you guys are making a straight across move in the same market.
Yep.
All right, perfect. So let's focus more on getting the best price on the house, getting your current house sold so that we can negotiate harder on the house that you're ultimately gonna end up in. Make sense?
Does.
Sweet.
Investors.
Why should investors buy now?
So, I guess it depends on what kind of investor you are, right? If you're multifamily or you're single family, but if you're a single family investor or like a beginning investor that's just looking to pick up a property, there's obviously, it's a much softer market, right? So there's more motivation in the market, so you can find opportunities that you're not able to find before. So how much of a deal can you get when there's 14 offers and 3 of them are cash? And they're all escalated 150 grand above list price? Not many deals, right? But if you have a avatar property that the investor is looking for, you can go look at all the properties in that price point. You can offer what makes sense for their financial calculation, and you can determine who the motivated party is by who holds up their hand and sends you a counter offer or, engages with you. So again, I don't think it's our job to get people, we can't want it more than they want it. But it's definitely a better market for investors than it was 6 months ago.
That's 100%. I've actually been seeing deals that I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
Well, and also too with investors, I don't work a lot with investors, but they want somebody that's going to fight for them. They want a pit bull. So make sure that you're using those triggering words when you're telling them these facts and you're talking about the credits that you can get. Annihilating sellers. Investors would love that word. I'm a barracuda and I am so excited about this market right now. Whereas so many other realtors are freaking out. I've been waiting for this moment. An investor is going to love that because they're like, oh man, she is a pit bull. Yeah, let's go. Right. So just make sure that you have that confidence because you're talking to somebody that wants you to annihilate the seller if they're an investor.
Anybody else? Any other questions? I wanted to say something you said at the last event. Hi guys. All right. So the last event that MK that we had in Mukilteo, you said for buyers buying right now, the additional down. As soon as those rates go back down, those buyers are the gas is gonna be back on the fire, and now there's gonna be multiple offers. What does that mean? There's gonna be an additional down. And Mr. Buyer, you only have your down payment. You don't have that extra $30,000 or $40,000 to play games with. So right now is the time to buy. So. I have a question on here.
Yeah, so I have a couple of things I just want to add and then a question. But one of the things that really helped me was looking at the history of interest rates and the fact that like in the last 50 years, like our interest rates are actually comparable to the average. So these 2% interest rates were an anomaly that happened during a very, very difficult global situation. So if people understand that like 6%, 7% is actually a healthy, normal state, and kind of educating them that this is the norm, right? And also like when we're looking at recession versus inflation, during a recession, if this continues to go on, generally what happens is that the interest rates will go down. So if we're at a normal rate of, 6%, 7%, and the recession continues, hey, date the rate. What is it? Date the rate.
Marry the house.
Right? So in a year, 2 years from now, if we're still in recession, you can maybe, refi. So if it's an inflation situation, then we have other benefits. So that being said, I think the question that still kind of comes from me is I'm hearing a lot of different information about what's happening with our tech industry. Now in Washington, I know that we didn't get affected as much in the 2008 recession as other places. And we are overinflated in our prices. So we are seeing that here in the like kind of, I guess, genesis of this phenomenon that's happening across the country. But I feel like we are insulated as Washingtonians, and it's being in a state where there's so much diversity of industry. But one of our key components has been that we have so many tech employees. So I'm hearing a lot of different things. I'm hearing that, the tech companies had a surge of employment, and so these layoffs are not actually that big of a deal, because when they, I think it was Microsoft was the one that I heard, like Microsoft hired like 40,000 people and, last year, over the last 2 years, and now they're laying off 10,000 people. Have you guys heard anything about that?
It's clickbait, you guys, right? Like fear sells, clickbait sells. Recession is always an opportunity to cut fat and cut dead weight. Okay, so that's what they're doing. And we are very, very insulated here in Washington because of all the points that you just made, which is, so first of all, it's land that they're not making any more of, right? Because of a bunch of natural impediments and because of our geography here, we're bound by mountains and sea and transportation corridors that are going to maintain our prices where they are. And then we've got this diverse, we're not a one-trick pony as far as industry is concerned. We're a multifaceted economy. So, and again, like I wouldn't even entertain that level of questioning from my client. I would just the person asking the questions is in control. Equally, if I'm asking you questions, I'm interested in you, but I can guide the conversation. So I would just take it away from that negative track. If they have personal job insecurity, I just address that. If they have general economy concerns, I just address that. I would ask you to just become really skilled at the top 5 objections and articulate them on repeat.
Yeah, I think that this is a really great opportunity too, when we're thinking about content. When you get these objections, answering these and then just answering it, turning your phone on and recording you answering that. Because I know we get really busy as agents, but knowing this data is our job. And for me, that's how I kind of figured out, I was like, what is going on with inflation? What is going on with recession? And I made videos around that and people really enjoyed it. So I think it's a great way to kind of quickly, market yourself is, when you get these objections that are very unique to whoever your client is, to just go in and make a video.
And I think the other important thing too is to push the source, right? So I don't ever want anybody to take my word for something. I'm going to point at the data points that I'm relying on to make that assessment so that they can find the same data and verify. So it's trust, but verify in all of your partners.
And too, guys, in your consults, add these objections into your consult before they ask. If you're playing catch up, you can still play catch up, obviously, and answer them if you're script practicing and you know what you're talking about. But all of my consults, I literally say, okay, let's call out the elephant in the room. Let's talk about rates. And I go all the way in with it. And by the time I'm done with my facts, they're really not giving me any more objections because they already trust me.
Anybody else?
Awesome. Video really quick all right, let's give it up for all the panelists today, please, guys. Please, thank you guys for spending your time. As we wrap up, just want to just reiterate a couple things that we're talking about. Amber, you were just coming in home with the process. You have to have a detailed process. I know you seem systematic, but there's really no way to do that much volume without having a process coming in and knowing exactly what you're going to do, setting your day up, systematizing things. Do you have a team that's, okay, thank you cards? You have a team for each step of the process. You have to be able to do that so that you can open up your time, right?
Do what you do best and let everybody else do everything.
Yep. The biggest thing I bet everybody up here will tell you, all the successful realtors will tell you, if it's not a hell yes, it's got to be a hell no. In 2023, if you have something in your business that you're just literally just mucking up your day, if it's not a hell yes, you got to take it off your list. You have to take it off your list. Randy, absolutely amazing at scripting, going over role plays. She's not afraid to just grab anybody she sees and say, hey, listen, we're going to role play together. You need to get outside of your comfort zone, and she's great for that. So she's got coaching set up too. Just real quick,
Jason and I have coaching steps. If you liked our scripts today, or you want the lender script or any of the other scripts, just reach out to us, and we're recording them all for you to kind of take in at your own time. Or if you want to join into it's like a next level breakfast club, right? So our skills are all really developed as far as securing the appointment, but then what do you need to say next, right? And Jason and I are really going deep on how to add the technology in your business, and then what to say in those every other scenario that comes up. So we'd be happy to help you.
How do you guys like hearing these live scenarios? Watching them scripted out, watching them role play? I told you, this is what we experience, at least from ourselves, from all these different scenarios and backgrounds. Is one of the biggest voids. It's what we work on constantly. We'll blame it on somebody else, but we had the wrong video. I want to add a layer to this just for a couple of minutes to give you guys some raw taste. I have a promo video, and I was like, what better yet than to show you guys as guests in the room another example of some of the stuff we're doing every single morning, right? And why it's so impactful. Hopefully it's not too scary on this one. MK, if you'll go ahead and hit the clip. This is actually from yesterday's live Breakfast Club.
My job when we were in coaching or you got to think about what is beyond second, but actually what you have
when he starts yelling.
And that's how I used to tell the boys.
We record up until we start talking.
So it's so easy to put things off. So easy to say. Oh, it's really good. So you saw that tomorrow. Tomorrow we work. It's on today. It's on today.
It's coming. Okay. It's coming. Don't move it.
Those shortfalls and those flaws. That's right. Just so we help you. Welcome to your Wednesday edition of the Breakfast Club. I'm feeling this morning. Regardless of how we feel, it doesn't matter. It's what we do despite how we feel every single day. It's your degree of separation from everybody in your marketplace. So on this beautiful Wednesday, have you made the decision to push forward in your business, or are you pulling back this morning? Push forward, Chad. Pushing forward looks like. It looks like getting the training, getting the skill set, and going out there and executing. Now, seeing the tracking sheets come in yesterday, everybody's having success with these business. Let's go, Jason Schaefer. You got one yesterday. Hey, Marcia Brady, are you on this call?
Yeah.
There you go. We talked about going out there and taking action with these business, which is absolutely 100%. There should be no reason why we don't kill these people, because they've literally got a sign in the front yard saying, hey, I need exactly what you do for a living, right? So it's not just a phone call, but how many physicals you drive by every single day and you don't stop by. You drive by and you go, for sale by owner. I should probably call them, and you never do, right? But it's the art of going out there and actually taking action. We're going to add to your business every day. What happened to you, Amanda, yesterday?
I drove outside my neighborhood and saw this girl had a PLP in my car, and I walked in up to her door, handed it to her, and she said, I actually really want to talk to you. Come in and have a cup of coffee.
What did she say? She said, don't think I could do this on my own, right?
Exactly.
I think I made a mistake.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And it goes, and it's the mindset, guys, that I've been trying to tell you with for sale by owners. We're in a weird place in the market right now where it's kind of good because you see that you're starting to get multiple offers on properties now, right? So the showings are starting to pick up, but we're in a weird space where everybody thinks that the market is going to still market the property properly. You're probably not going to get that big of a result, right? Now, these FSBOs are in a position where they're trying to sell the house on their own and they can't do it and they're struggling and you're so afraid of them that you don't call them, right? And you don't know that their mindset is, holy shit, this is harder than I thought, right? I wish I would have had a professional. Maybe I'm making a mistake because I'm not getting very many showings. I haven't gotten any offers. I thought this was going to be a whole lot easier and you should be there to take away that burden and to help these people get what they want. But why do we call them? Because we're afraid, because we don't know what to say. Confidence equals confidence, and that's exactly what we're building on this morning, okay? Now, we went over quite a few FSBO objections yesterday, which is the most common one. Somebody give me a FSBO objection.
Okay, so to pause that, so we thought it'd be good to show you guys a little raw view. Now we are doing FSBO week, hence this is a very FSBO specific topic, but with what you guys were being demonstrated up here, right? With on the spot, Jody, what are you dealing with, right? On the spot, Lisa, what are you dealing with? What do you have going on, right? To have that skill set to be prepared to respond in every single scenario is what we work on every single day. Hence the level of skills that you guys were witnessing up here on the stage, right? So if anyone's open to that, what he was about to dialogue into is who's ready to go. And it's things that you can learn. It's for 30 minutes. Every morning is what we run. It's call-in only. So you're just, in the background and there's so much value taken away with working on and mastering these skills. It's the reason why we call it the sales gym. So we just want to extend that again. If you guys found this helpful and want to get a deeper dive, we'll be talking about the event coming up next, probably later in Q1, that will extend the invitation to all of you guys out for that registered. So thank you again for coming. As well as additional material on how we practice and are prepared and develop what's necessary to, again, create that separation in the market. So with that said, thank you again to all the speakers. Help me give them a round of applause, you guys. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for all the support for everyone here. And that's a wrap. So. For what? The rest?
That's all, folks.